Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Find me, Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect the complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding.
Blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
Are you making another beat, Daddy?
What up, nephew?
And Genius is my dad.
Hey, Lele. Classic. Bass. Hard times ain't nothing at all. Really come from a struggle. Real. Move around Michael Buffer. Always ready to rumble. All that mean is off the muscle. Y'all can't match my hustle. Screen bucket, that's a cuzzo. Bigger key to no muzzle. Lately I'm feeling exhausted. Think I'm tired of being humble. Coach all on the duffel. Chip on my shoulder, you don't wanna ruffle. Where I come from, everybody is cutthroat. Could've been dead, I'm just doing what I'm up for. My old homie jumped off the roof. I tried to shepherd, he was nuts so. Life, win or you lose, you gotta pick it or choose. Inspired, chose to win. Now I'm wearing furs on a cruise. The shortest path always straight. Why you all in your own way? You scream YOLO to be goofy instead of using that to be great. You black, you should be proud. When I die, spend my money with the apes. It's gonna be a ton, I'm running up the rate. My name on your tongue, I'm coming up the ranks. Consistency so persistently is the recipe, I cannot lose. My options in life is win, succeed, or win. How can I choose? I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So damn it, I think I'ma do. Survived a lot, I could've died a lot, but I'm here, got nothing to prove. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, woke up. Woke up feeling inspired. Treadwell, low pro tire. Grind like my needs are dire. I grind like my straight's a diet. Woke up, woke up, woke up, woke up. When I start getting awards, know that I deserve it. I ain't getting choked up.
Nah, I ain't gonna get choked up at all. Welcome to the TezDown. It is bright and early on a Thursday afternoon or morning, depending on where you are.
Enough about me. Let's talk about me. What do you think of me?
Thank you guys for showing up the way that you have for me over the last couple of weeks. I appreciate you a whole lot. And with that being said, we got a show for y'all today. Legalize it. Legality issues is the name of today's show. The question that we have today, we're going to start off with a couple of different things. Is Trump going to legalize American use, recreational use of cannabis products? And even if he doesn't, are you going to use them anyway? Let's do some roll call. What's up, Into Deep? How you doing? Into Deep is in the building. He had his ones in the air already. What's going on? Soft Rain's in the building too. What's up, Soft Rain? How you doing? Hope y'all had a good time last night. International Sco was in the building. What's up, International Sco? Got the ones hot and ready in the air. Let's go. Into Deep. I appreciate you. Everybody else out there in YouTube land or Kick land, as I have started streaming across other platforms, let's get some diversity in here. What's going on? You guys make sure you like and subscribe everywhere that I am. You guys can find me at the bottom of the screen on all socials as Soul Reaper 24. You can find me on all of the streaming platforms as the TezDown. The only one that's different is Twitch. That is Tezzy Shade 24. I am not live on Twitch today. I am live on Kick today and YouTube. And we're going to make sure that you guys check out the Rumble as well. I made one. It seems pretty cool, doesn't it? I made me a Rumble, guys. So that's where I'm going to do the majority of my bulk uploads and all of that, and try to get around some of these guidelines that are going on this side. They've been having monetization issues with creators over the last couple of days, and I am delayed. So that being said, the Cash App is still available, and so is the Zelle down at the bottom if anybody wants to use it. It is not a requirement. The only thing I require is your like and your subscribe. It's free. Do the free stuff. You know what I'm saying? That helps me out. Richard said 2 likes. Thanks, Richard. What's going on? McKinnon, how you doing, man? My wife smokes it. I don't. But Texas just banned most smoking versions. Luckily, she gets her stuff outside of Texas, and that's not illegal. I hate this state. I don't blame you. Thank you, Into Deep, for that. I appreciate it a lot, man. I really do. A lot goes into this every day. Into Deep says, welcome to the newbies. As you come in, please click the like button in a free way to support the creator. Yes, and that's me. Let's get into it today, guys. I got a packed show for y'all, so let's go ahead and make it happen. Man, if you guys hear me, I might sound like I have a little bit of a lisp. To say I had an unfortunate meeting with hard substances. Yeah. Guys, I train. Sometimes I fall. You know, Tez is on Discord. Yes, he is. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I am on Discord. I am. You guys didn't catch me this time. But yeah, if you guys catch me on that, let me know. I'm trying my best to keep it together. We're going to start off with the news hitting locally first. Chicago has hundreds of vacant lots available. Why and how to get some?
Well, starting today, hundreds of vacant city lots are now available for purchase.
Yeah, and some will be sold for as little as $1. Regina Waldrop is in Englewood with more on that story.
So this is all about combating blight and encouraging development. And this here, and what I'm standing in front of, one of the vacant lots that is up for sale.
And I would fence it off and have more yard for myself, you know, so I can put a garden, maybe my grandchildren put a playground, something like that.
You already got plans.
Yes, I have plans.
Cedra Allen's Englewood home is surrounded by vacant lots. She's hoping to buy at least 2 of them to improve her neighborhood.
I think it would be a great program, and I'm very interested in it.
The city's vacant lot inventory includes about 7,000 properties, many of which were acquired through demolition liens over the last 50 years. More than 600 empty lots are now up for sale. At least 500 are available at market rates for new construction projects, 55 for affordable housing, and 66 for side yards, open space, and urban agriculture. Also available, up to $150,000 in construction assistance for some lots.
Maybe I should look into it and buy a lot of some in the neighborhood, you know, build some on it, generational wealth, or just for the kids, better in the community or something. Anything but a liquor store.
Anything but a liquor store. Anything but a liquor store. But a liquor store. But a liquor store. Tell me about a liquor something.
Classic.
Richard got some.
No more day job. I was tired of being a slave. 1,000,001 ways for a man to get paid. Rather work myself into my own damn grave than to get these bloodsuckers another damn day. Gotta find a way to make my own way. Trying to run my race with my own race. They say we come from monkeys, so when I die, split my money with my apes. When I die, split my money with my apes. We the taste makers, y'all ain't really got no taste. Pour some Bel Air, celebrate, cause we great.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it, man. Got the music for Richard. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. What's up, Roxy? How you doing in the building? You know, we're going to keep it moving. No matter what happens, we're going to keep it moving, y'all. I appreciate that. Thank you, Richard.
Some positive for, you know, the neighborhood.
The Portal Chai Block Builder is where potential buyers can browse interactive maps that include market values, sizes, and potential uses for available locations. Would you fence it in too?
Yes, I would definitely fence it in. Yes.
Purchase applications, they're due in 45 to 90 days, depending on the location. In Inglewood, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Quite a deal there.
Love the program.
And a lot of interest.
Well, yeah. So if you guys are in the Chicago area, maybe you should attend one of these things so you can get you some land on the market. There's 600 vacant lots in the city that are going to hit and I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. If you don't go, they're going to be bought for very low prices by developers who are going to make 5,000 to 5 million% the increase on the lot that they bought for the price that they bought it for. Thanks, Rain. I appreciate that. Loud? Did somebody say loud today? Okay, we almost to the loud section of the show, Rain. No, Trump likes weed. No pun intended. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with you with why it's so loud today, but I'm glad it is because that makes for better audio quality when it comes to me downloading the videos and then sending them to other places. So I do like that. I do like that. But we're gonna move on to the next part of the show. Where was that one at? Where is it at? We just did property for sale. We did that. So let's go to breaking news. We got some breaking news.
Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin. Jennifer.
Harris, for all intents and purposes, the Strait of Hormuz is de facto closed, despite what the Pentagon and White House are saying.
What has been agreed to, what's been stated, is the strait is open.
It has been relayed to him privately that is what's taking place, and these reports publicly are false.
Only 5 ships have crossed the strait on Wednesday. All 5 were bulk carriers, and none were carrying oil or gas, except for the one that you mentioned above that crossed recently. All 5 were given permission by Iran to cross and may have even paid a fee. Before the war, more than 130 ships typically crossed the Strait of Hormuz each day and did not pay any tolls.
No.
Russian TASS state news agency says Iran says it has agreed to only allow 15 vessels to pass each day. Not sure that'll fly with the White House. Iran's deputy foreign minister said today there would be no ceasefire deal and the strait would remain closed as long as Israel continues to strike Lebanon.
This body of water is Iran's territorial water. You know that this Strait of Hormuz is purely in Iran's territorial water, Oman and Iran. You're going to provide security for safe passage, and it is going to happen after United States, actually withdraw this aggression.
The Strait of Hormuz, of course, is not Iran's territorial waters, though it is close to Iran. There seems to be some confusion whether Israel's fight against Iran's proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon violates the ceasefire deal or not. The Pakistani mediators who cobbled this agreement together says it does. Israel strikes in Lebanon. Lebanon could jeopardize this ceasefire, as is Iran's effective continued closure of the strait, which is their biggest leverage during ceasefire talks on Saturday in Islamabad. Iran also wants a toll, $1 per barrel passing through the strait. A typical oil tanker carries 2 million barrels. That would be $2 million per ship for the Iranians. Yesterday, President Trump told ABC there may be a joint U.S.-Iran venture to charge tolls. There has been no indication Iran has agreed to such an arrangement. The problem seems to be there have not been face-to-face negotiations yet, Harris, and the misunderstanding seems to be, in essence, due to a bad game of telephone and a lot of pre-talk posturing. Harris.
Yeah, I don't think it's a game. Iran thinks it actually has some leverage doing this, and it's not good, and Trump doesn't usually bluff. We'll watch it. Jennifer, thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on...
Well, that was just in, and looks like they've got some motion going on right now at the ceasefire. That wasn't part of the show schedule for today, but when it's just in, it's just in. It's breaking news, and we're going to cover it because that's what we do here. We cover the breaking news, but right now we got a whole nother story that we got to cover. We're gonna hit our main portion of this part today. Trump likes weed. I didn't realize that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on with this. We're going to talk about it right now.
So with President Trump's scheduling order, there's been lots of fallout. And of course, we're tracking it all. From prohibitionists fighting for the good herb to remain illegal, firing employees who use it, to a complete 360 with Medicare now covering CBD and THC products, and even reportedly allowing for far higher THC levels than what we first thought. But according to a new report, in states like Arizona, supply outweighs demand. But are people actually consuming less, or are they just getting their products from the black market?
Well, new this morning, coming down from the high. Recreational marijuana, not the cash crop that it used to be. Arizona is seeing a drop in tax revenue from weed.
So are fewer people consuming cannabis, or are they buying outside of the dispensary where this can be tracked? David joining us live this morning from the Department of Revenue to break down the numbers and give us some answers. Good morning, David.
Tess, Colton, good morning to you. Recreational weed is taxed at 16%. That's a pretty big number, and the revenue from that goes and funds things like public safety, community colleges, even highways as well. But Arizona is seeing a lot less of that tax revenue over the years. We want to show you the graph and break down the numbers. So this is from total tax collection from not only recreational, but also medical marijuana.
So this says that Arizona's supply outweighs the demand. So that decreases in sales can dramatically affect tax revenue for the state. And one of the main reasons why any state or any country would want to legalize any form of recreational drugs, we can say that here, that is not a bad word, is because it wants to increase revenue on taxes. And the licenses to sell this recreational product, they're very expensive, especially in a place like, well, Illinois. So once these states, they're able to legalize the way that they have, and they're able to get everything done the way that they have, this starts to come at a disadvantage to the state when people are no longer buying from the dispensaries. And so they're asking the question, why would people stop doing this? Or why would people stop using at these legalized places? And we're going to find out why.
Here in Arizona, and as you can see, 2023 was the high point of that, but there's a steady decline heading down in tax revenue. Many industry experts wondering if 2026 could possibly be the worst year. However, we do have a whole lot more of the year left to go.
So that raises a great question. Are folks actually consuming less, or are they just no longer getting their products from these licensed dispensaries and seeking out alternative products on the black market? Because the truth is, we've seen instances in other states where these lawmakers implement taxes, and those high taxes force businesses and consumers to either shut down or turn their attention to the illicit market. Now, in this particular situation, as you guys can see, the tax revenue has been declining steadily since 2023. But for me, I'm not necessarily sure whether this is an accurate depiction of whether people are in fact consuming less, because in situations where the taxes are just so high, like I said, they're just going to seek out those products through alternative routes. Now, according to folks who have insight in Arizona, this may not be the only reason, because a lot of these dispensaries are growing way more herb than they can actually sell. Have a look.
What is behind this decline in tax revenue? Arizona's family spoke with Ann Torres, who's the executive director of the Arizona Dispensaries Association. Torres believes the reason why the state is seeing less tax revenues because supply is outweighing demand. Dispensaries are now cutting prices to strike a deal to get weed moving out of their stores. We asked Torres if the black market, people buying weed outside of dispensary, has anything to do with this. This is her response.
I don't. And actually some statistics that have come out recently, we're not seeing any growth in the illegal or illicit market in Arizona. Again, people who were looking to purchase marijuana outside of a regulated system prior to the adult use program no longer need to do that. They have a safe place to go. It's legal.
And that's exactly what a lot of folks want, a safe place where they can purchase and consume these products. And now what we're seeing is a little bit of a shift, even at the federal level, because according to this, feds have now detailed a new plan to cover up to $500 in hemp, CBD, and THC products for Medicare patients under a new program which is launching next week. Now, we've discussed this already, and I think that that's great news and it's a solid starting point. But according to this, the federal CBD health insurance plan will reportedly allow THC amounts far exceeding that hemp limit, which was signed by President Trump.
We've got some breaking news impacting the cannabis stocks. Brandon Gomez has the details. Brandon.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, that's right. President Trump was signing an executive order to reschedule cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug. Now, that's taking the drug and aligning it from drugs like heroin and LSD to drugs like Tylenol with codeine or steroids that have more medical benefits in terms of that classification. That's the big move here, is they're going to open up access to medical research for the drug, allow more investment to come into the drug, and then also for those companies that have been selling the drug as well, giving them opportunities to take off basic tax deductions that they were previously not able to do. Also in conjunction, Dr. Oz announcing a Medicare pilot program to give some seniors who qualify access to the drug as well. These are really huge moves, a massive move for the industry that's taking place, since the last 50 years. This has been one that we've been sort of ramping up to this point.
So seeing some of the changes that are happening at the federal level, I think that's really important, especially when it comes to the push for legalization across America, and in particular, those currently prohibition states. Now, when it comes to rescheduling, a lot of folks have differing points of view. Some folks think it's a good thing, while others are a little bit more skeptical. You guys know where I stand on this. I think it's a good first step, but I do think that descheduling is the ultimate goal that everyone wants. And recently, we broke the news of you guys where President Trump was reportedly exploring descheduling with the descheduling committee set to be set up this summer. But with all that said, we're still waiting to see exactly what happens. And even members of Congress are demanding rescheduling updates from the DOJ 3 months after President Trump's executive order. And we may in fact see some traction pretty soon, because according to this article, the FDA submits a new cannabis products enforcement policy for White House review. And it even goes further to say that meetings could be scheduled for as early as this week. Now, I do want to show you guys in a little bit more detail the CBD and THC products, which will be covered by Medicare, because that's revolutionary. But while that's happening, we're also seeing a massive effort to allow more employers to fire medical herb users. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder, if you're getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club.
Promise. Today, our Innovation Center at CMS is announcing a new model and additional actions to give seniors access to cannabinoids. These are CBDs. They're non-addictive, which many are already using to manage pain. There's some clinical evidence that...
See, my problem that I have is I want to know, what is his goal and what is the government's goal? They've been against this for so long, and they've also known all of these medicinal properties for a very long time. So why now? Is it because the country is bleeding cash?
Showing that CBDs provide relief from common conditions that affect Americans, including cancer symptoms and chronic pain, and a slew of other problems that affect disproportionately seniors and our veterans. And 6 in 10 people who use the CBDs report that they improve their pain. I think all of those people are calling the president, judged on the number of calls in support of what we're doing today. And sometimes these decisions are difficult, and there's a reason this hasn't happened before. And there's a reason, Mr. President, that every president before you has whiffed on this issue. It's tough. And I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about it. That's why we're so passionate about making it clear that this patchwork that we're working within now, the laws and regulations, they're leaving patients and doctors without adequate guidance on the safeguards of how to use these products, even though they're still being used. At Medicare, we cover 68 million Americans, including people under the age of 65. And they did not have a way of providing these treatments until today. With the president's insistence, that's all changes. The Innovation Center models are going to allow millions of Americans on Medicare to become eligible to receive CBD as early as April of next year.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that. CBD was being sold all over the country in all types of vape shops until you guys put them out of business. And then you wanted to put the gas stations out of business that were selling it too. I got a comment from Anonymous. Anonymous says, federal government trying to tax the sales. They're trying to capitalize off the money, and that is what's going on here. Let's catch up to our chat real quick. It's Deep says he's in Arizona. Grow your own at Classic. Richard said he stopped smoking cold turkey and legal. They have the right recipe now. Oh, I see what you mean. He says 6 plants per person in Arizona. Homegrown boom is the rage. Yeah, it should be. It's organic. If somebody's growing it at home, then you know that they have less of an opportunity to make additives or put additives into your products. He said, I don't want this. I don't blame you. In Too Deep, I don't even miss it. I'm disgusted by it. Started smoking at 12. He doesn't even miss smoking. Richard doesn't even miss it. In Too Deep said, me too. In Too Deep said, I smoked way more than I did when it was illegal. McKinnon says, it's really not tough. People should be allowed to smoke it, period. Yeah, they should. I don't see why they shouldn't. It's natural. Why do you want to take away people's ability to smoke what's natural? It's natural, y'all. Don't get mad about nature. People get mad about nature now. You know what happens when you start beefing with nature. Let's see what they're saying about this, though.
And at no charge, if their doctors recommend them. Thanks to the hard work of the entire CMS team, especially Abe Sutton and Gita Dio at the Innovation Center, the accountable care organizations in this country working in Medicare will be able to provide these products, again, at no cost to patients. Medicare Advantage insurers, and we've been calling them, are also agreeing to consider.
I would hazard a guess that that's more psychologically or personal. I think that's more of a personality trait. I mean, I'm part of a family full of Jamaicans, and I've never seen. Well, I've seen one person. Yep, I know the history on why. Yep, maybe I'll do that part next. Yeah, I come from a family full of Jamaicans. I've only ever known one of us to be upset when he didn't get his. So the rest of us are kind of just like, whatever, like it's cool, like it will be when it will be.
CBD to be used for the 34 million Americans that they cover. If you can hear my voice and you're over 65, you should pay attention to this executive order because it's going to touch your life. Again, this all becomes active after the first quarter of next year.
So those remarks from Dr. Oz, or as I like to say, Dr. Ounce, that was last year when President Trump signed the executive order to reschedule the GoodRib from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. So those programs are literally launching in April 2026. And April is just 2 days away, so that's happening pretty soon. Now, what I found really commendable about this whole thing is that the current administration is focusing on simplifying access for seniors. And for me, that's a really good thing. And in fact, what we're seeing is a change across multiple states where more lawmakers are hopping on board with medical herb. And in fact, a lot of them are using them in hospital settings, hospice settings, and for end-of-life care for patients. And something else which I mentioned to you guys recently is that even in certain homes for the elderly, kiosks are being used to increase access for patients. Have a look.
It's new tonight as the demand for marijuana in the senior community grows. Two companies are trying to get the products in the hands of their consumers within hours, and they're doing it with strategically placed kiosks.
Yeah, the companies say that for many older customers, ordering products and having them delivered is easier than driving to a dispensary. 12 News journalist
I don't have anything at all to say. Just watch and listen.
Tiani Jetalang is joining us now in studio, and she spoke with two companies involved and took a deep dive into how all of this works. Tiani?
Great Bay Mark, experts with both LoveBud and Life is Chill tell me this concept is a way to reach communities who may not be online or looking for specific products, but instead it places the products right in front of them, making it readily available in hours.
We have it in categories for the elder. And a lot of the elders don't really want to smoke. They want to use an edible or a topical. So I'll go into the edible, they just touch it. Then we'll go into Life is Chill. And then here's our product line.
That's Dana Lillistol with Life is Chill, demonstrating how to use and order products from their latest project, a user-friendly kiosk for senior citizens to place their marijuana delivery orders. Why kiosks? Why physically at the senior communities?
Thank you. So the seniors have roadblocks, and we're here to take away those roadblocks. They're giants. We want to stand on their shoulders. They've gone before us, and they're struggling with technology. And they don't know how to use their iPhone or their Android to go to a website for a dispensary and find what they need.
According to the cannabis company, these kiosks are designed to help provide solutions to those issues. The technology is handled through weed and cannabis delivery app LoveBud. For adults who feel comfortable handling technology, they would be able to browse the app, which includes posts and advertisements from brands.
That's right, Sco.
But for senior citizens, these kiosks will operate on what they call easy mode.
It takes away the whole social side. You know, you have some people that don't want to go through all the social posts and reels and see the videos, and they just want to get their product. But besides that, it's the help feature with it. You know, they're able to just click on help to get a direct phone call or message an actual representative right there live.
Lillistol will be the one picking up the phone to answer those medical questions. Customers would also be able to contact any bud tender or dispensary of their choosing as well.
There's also an educational portal that works.
So it looks like there's an opportunity here. So if you guys are couriers of any type, I would suggest that you also get on this. Get on it. Why not? If you're a courier and you already deliver food, groceries, whatever, Instacart, get on this. I guarantee you that you'll be able to make a substantial amount of money being a courier for the product. I don't blame anybody for trying to get their money. That's why I'm streaming on more than one platform right now. As you guys can see, I'm also live on Kick. This is my first Kick video. I have 0 followers on Kick. 0. We're gonna see how that goes and how we're gonna go. But I'm also on I'm on both. I'm on both right now. You said Woober. That's what it's called. Okay. All right.
We're going to be building in so that they can learn as well. And down the road, we'd love to have that educational portal go to their own iPad or their own iPhone or laptop.
So it's undeniable. More and more folks are consuming the good herb, especially when it comes to medical purposes. And in particular, seniors. They're actually using it a whole lot more than they were in the past. But strangely enough, despite all that, with rescheduling still pending, federal workplace drug testing rules are not changing according to the health agency.
Yeah, Negro. That's all you had to
across
say.
multiple states, including states that are fully legal like Oklahoma, where they're pushing more efforts to allow employers to fire medical herb users. Have a look.
A new effort tonight to further regulate medical marijuana in Oklahoma, and this time jobs are on the line.
But some are asking if a new proposal is even constitutional. News 4's Dylan Brown spoke to patients with medical cards who are not happy. Dylan's joining us now. Dylan.
No, not happy at all. In Oklahoma, if you work firefighter, law enforcement.
Yo, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all please do me a favor? I would like the white woman archetype. Stop looking like this. There are far too many Erica Kirks and Caroline Levitts in the world. Be unique. Be yourself. We don't need another clone of them, because at this point, I'm starting to believe that y'all all came from one single zygote and they split it and they keep cloning y'all. This is what I'm starting to believe. Y'all are giving me good reason to. I digress.
Or even child care, and you have a medical marijuana card, you're protected from being fired from, or you could be fired if you're drug tested and your boss finds out. But one lawmaker is trying to fix that,
right,
trying
McKinnon?
to regulate it where almost any employer for any job
first follower,
could be fired.
shout out into deep.
To do is this the most they pushed against marijuana in Oklahoma, would you say?
Yeah, it seems like year by year they're chipping apart every way.
Over 315,000 Oklahomans are medical marijuana card holders. Most could lose their jobs soon if any hint of marijuana is in their system.
So my assistant, I could fire her because she uses assuming she uses medical marijuana.
As you test positive, you're fired, then yes.
Representative Kevin West is leading the charge. Right now, there is the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana and Patient Protection Act. After medical marijuana was legalized, lawmakers made it so employers could fire employees depending on the job, labeling some of them as safety sensitive, like construction, childcare, even a firefighter. But if Representative West's efforts pass, the definition of safety sensitive opens up, meaning almost any employer can test and fire employees if marijuana is in their system.
You're going to have a clerical desk job labeled as a safety sensitive job, or even possibly a janitor.
Chance Tinker moderates Oklahoma MMA. It's a Facebook page central to medical marijuana information in Oklahoma. He says this could be more than just jobs lost.
Or workman's comp insurance won't cover an employee after a situation because they tested positive for marijuana.
So you guys can see just how this can become such a massive problem. What you're doing is legally accepted under state law. In fact, you're a medical patient with a medical card, but you could still be fired by your employer despite the fact that
and that's been happening all over the place. That happens here too. If you are someone with a medical card in a state where recreation is legalized, you can still be fired for having it in your system. They can still drug test you and not give you the job. I don't see how that makes any sense, because are they going to fire a person who's drinking on their front porch? No. You're not at work. You should be able to do whatever you want to do when you're not at work. He said that's because they know what they put in it. I'm not disagreeing with you one bit. He said you can't have a weapon either. That's also true. You can't. So they're making rules for what they're profiting off of. If you want to look up the profit margins, we've done this before on this show, so I'm not going to do it again. But if you want to look up the profit margins and what the profit is on these, on the recreational sale of marijuana, go ahead and look up Illinois. Look at what happened before Illinois legalized it. I believe it was in 2020 or 2021. Go ahead and look at 2020. It was in 2020. Go ahead and look it up. What happened in 2020 when they legalized it, and then how much money they made off of it during the pandemic. Just during the pandemic, not every other year, just during the pandemic. Check it out. It was astronomical compared to what they're probably doing today, considering that there are over 5 times as many licenses for dispensaries as there were in 2020. He said Arizona's tax is 34% tax too. Yeah, so again, another state where the tax is very high on the product. You're paying an astronomical amount of money for what used to be cheap. He said, just go get you some synthetic urine. Over here with the life hacks. I see you over there, Passports Go. I see you. I see you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It's all good though. You know, I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Scheduling is pending, and what you're doing is legal under state law. Now, to me, this whole thing is absolutely mind-blowing, especially considering the medical benefits that this good plant does have to offer. And partner that up with the fact that more and more Americans are in favor of legalization, and you got yourself the perfect storm.
As you said, public polling has changed a lot since then. There are people who use marijuana for medical purposes. There's also people who use it like alcohol, you know, to chill out on a Friday night. There's still a lot of pushback from folks saying we don't know enough about the full impact of this because as a Schedule I drug, there is not as much research as there could be as a Schedule III drug. So there's still a tug and pull. You know, you said that 64% of Americans support legalization. That jumped a lot over the last 20 years, but in the last few years, it's really stabilized. I think there's a little bit of concern and some questions out there. I think the president and a lot of folks are hoping that more scientific research will answer some of those questions.
Absolutely. All right. So if this is a political move, Natalie, is it clear that the president would see a benefit with any particular group, any particular age range?
Well, young people, for starters, obviously are very a much higher support level for marijuana, especially millennial voters, but also Gen Z who've been moving toward marijuana in replacing alcohol use with things like THC seltzers. But then also, you know, you've got veterans who use marijuana for medical purposes. You've got people with chronic pain who can come from all different walks of life who use marijuana. There's a lot of different groups that this could play well in.
And that's the truth about this whole thing. There's so many different people from all walks of life that actually consume the good herb for medical purposes. Republicans, Democrats, young people, older folks, seniors, veterans. It really doesn't matter. This is such a bipartisan issue that everyone needs to get on.
Bipartisan issue. It's weed, bro. It's weed. It's weed. We had a whole president say he smoked it. We had a whole nother president say he smoked it. And I guarantee you, the rest of them smoked it too. Well, this current batch, they like to do that nose stuff, as you can tell. Y'all believe me? Go look what RFK said about throwing it off toilet seats in the bathrooms and how that helped his immune system. Okay? I'm just saying.
Board. So let me know what you guys think about that. Everything that we discussed in today's video, from CBD and THC products now being covered by Medicare to some of those employers now seeking to fire medical herb users.
Think about this and what the medical industry does. If CBD and THC products are going to be covered by Medicare, there's only 2 reasons why anyone would do that. Reason number 1, because they're messing with the stuff. Reason number 2, because they're profiting off of you using it. And that's why they want to increase the amount of THC in it. So they're genetically engineering it to be more potent, so you need more of it. And who knows, maybe they might find a way to make a formerly non-addictive product addictive. Addictive. It's funny how For all of these generations, they've been locking up black people and everyone else who smokes for the smallest amounts. But now they want to increase the potency and the price and the distribution and the ways to get it. I'm just saying, y'all need to look at legislation a little bit. I don't trust it. Richard said, damn, from my knowledge, Arizona really not number one in marijuana since young Dro was out, before loud was a thing. Pharma, exactly. Indoor out here. Indo. Smell like outdoor. You know what I'm saying? So let's find out. Okay, let's go to the next part of this, right? Because we got a double parter. We got a whole nother section that we got to hit. We gotta streamline everything today, guys. Why was it ever illegal in the first place? That's the question that we're gonna ask right now. Why was it ever illegal in the first place?
It's been almost half a century since Peter Tosh sang. Now, as you may have heard, in much of the United States, it has been legalized.
And now to the growing acceptance of legalized marijuana across the country.
5 states legalized some form of it on Election Day.
In more parts of the U.S., weed is legal than it is not.
Like its customers, the market for legal cannabis keeps getting higher and higher. But there's a catch. While it is legal in many states, it is not legal federally. This is Lauren Thomas, General Counsel for Dutchie, a company that provides software to cannabis dispensaries.
We have to be aware of what federal enforcement priorities are to avoid being brought in on conspiracy or aiding and abetting charges.
So how can this be? How can something be legal in a state when the federal government says it's illegal?
I think a lot of people, they see, federal law makes it illegal, state law in some places make it legal. There should be a preemption issue there.
Jay Wexler is a legal scholar who teaches cannabis law at Boston University. And preemption is a legal doctrine that comes into play when a federal law conflicts with a state law.
Article 6 of the Constitution says that federal law is the supreme law of the land, which means that if you have the federal law and the state law and they conflict, and you can't do both at the same time, the state law falls away and the federal law is the one that governs.
But Wexler says that when it comes to cannabis, preemption is not the legal doctrine we should be paying attention to.
And that is because of this other quirky provision of the Constitution known as the 10th Amendment, which the Supreme Court has basically interpreted to say that the federal government cannot require states to do certain things or force them, or the legal doctrinal word that we use is commandeer the state.
This means that the federal government can't force states to arrest cannabis users and sellers who comply with their state laws, but they also can't block the federal government from enforcing its laws either.
They could send federal agents into every house all over America and just start arresting people for smoking weed. But federal government doesn't have those kinds of resources, and it doesn't have the will to do that.
But there once was a time when the federal government did have the will.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse.
Shut your lying ass up, Richard Dickheadson. Get on my nerves every time I see these dudes from back in the day. People want slapping them upside their face for all the illegal crap that they were doing, but they want to point at people who were just smoking a spliff on their porch. Look how they villainized people. Look how they villainized us. It's ridiculous. I would never.
1970, President Nixon signed the Controlled Substances Act. The act divided a list of drugs into 5 categories, or schedules, based on their potential for abuse and medicinal value. Drugs in Schedule 1 were made illegal for all purposes.
Category 1 is the most dangerous drugs, and that's where marijuana is, like right next to heroin.
To justify this decision, President Nixon hired a group of doctors and legal experts known as the Schaefer Commission to study the dangers of marijuana. But when they found that marijuana was not as detrimental to health as assumed, Nixon ignored their report.
And people continue to ignore the report. People continue to ignore the reports that this is literally medicine that came from the heavens. But now they want to mess with it. Go figure, right? Oh, it helps people. Let's mess it up.
Instead, he placed marijuana at the forefront of a war on drugs that would last decades.
The enforcement.
Sco, I need you to come to the front of the congregation right now. Sco said both of the Bush presidents, Bill Clinton, I'm pretty sure Obama gets high. Have you seen Obama's lips? You can't tell. They caught this man smoking on the side of the White House multiple times. Multiple times. There's plenty of photos and evidence of Obama having a late night nightcap on the side of the White House away from the lights. There's plenty of photos. I'm just saying. Bill joked about it. I'm pretty sure Bush was bushing. And I mean, Obama's Obama, man. You know, he did. There's photos of him doing it in college. Lots of them.
Of these laws have absolutely disproportionately impacted communities of color and continue to do so to this day.
The federal government was uncompromising when it came to marijuana criminalization, but states were more like Peter Tosh. They saw things differently.
In the wake of the Schaefer report, which said marijuana is not really dangerous, a number of states, led by Oregon, decriminalized marijuana, which means if somebody's caught with marijuana or using small amounts of marijuana, they would have gotten a traffic ticket kind of thing, like a civil infraction.
California led the way to legalizing medical marijuana in 1996. And Colorado and Washington were the first to legalize recreational marijuana use in 2012.
State law is only preempted by the CSA if it is physically impossible to comply with both state and federal law. States, knowing this, have carefully crafted their medical and recreational marijuana laws.
With their carefully crafted laws and the 10th Amendment on their side, remember what Professor Wexler said about commandeering the state? States were able to legalize marijuana and avoid federal preemption.
When people hear, oh, preemption is not a problem, they might think, oh, okay, so then the federal government's not really important when it comes to state marijuana businesses or state marijuana use. And that's not true, because lots of our daily activities and the activities of businesses are regulated by federal law.
Because most banks are federally licensed, they are very hesitant to support even non-touching businesses like Dutchies because they don't know when federal enforcement could prevent them from continuing to service the industry.
Without access to banks, cannabis companies operate largely on cash and are unable to access basic financial services such as loans. And then there are taxes.
The federal tax code has a provision 280E, which you say 280E to any marijuana lawyer or any marijuana business person, and they go, I hate that.
280E.
That thing, right? Because what 280E does is it says that drug traffickers, which includes, for federal law purposes, marijuana businesses, cannot deduct the ordinary business expenses that a typical business can deduct.
This includes salaries, rent, software costs. They can only deduct the costs of goods sold.
Banking and tax are maybe the biggest issues, but there are all sorts of other areas which are important too. Cannabis companies cannot take advantage of federal bankruptcy law if they go bankrupt, which many of them do. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office will not grant trademarks to companies that are doing illegal things.
Most technology businesses rely a lot on H-1B visas to bring in incredible engineering and technical talent from around the world. From the federal government perspective, coming to the states to work on cannabis is the same as coming to the states to sell heroin.
Despite the complex matrix of laws under which cannabis has been legalized, the industry continues to grow. And there are some signs that things may eventually change at the federal level, including a push to allow cannabis companies to access banking services and to be taxed like other businesses.
A $17 billion industry that doesn't have access to financial services. It's an invitation to money laundering, to theft, to tax evasion.
In addition, a lot of federal legislation is aimed at providing more support for people of color, potentially requiring states to reconsider the convictions or expunge the records of people who had previously been convicted of marijuana-related crimes. I think that's an essential part of the restorative justice that needs to take place.
Eventually, the federal government will stop this craziness and will take marijuana out of Schedule 1.
And maybe, just maybe, a plea from a 1976 reggae song will finally be met.
Yep. Legalize it. Well, here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know I really don't know what they plan on doing or why they're doing it, but this is a point. Cannabis is a cash only business, which is the truth. If you've ever been inside a dispensary, you'll know that. I'm not afraid to say that I have been inside of one before in several states. So real soon they're going to legalize prostitution too. They're going to make value rise by creating this men versus women war. What you going to do for me? What you going to do for me? What you going to do for me? That's always been the question, right?
What have you done for me lately?
It's always been the question. You know, we use it often. We try to talk about it often. And we got some more coming up. Weed is legal in 25 of the 50 states. Just made it legal across all 50 states. Make it federally legal. I mean, and then they have to also make it decriminalized too. So you have to make it legal, decriminalize it, and also make recreation legal. So that's what there's a lot of work to do. So please click on the notification bell so you don't miss future lives. It's free. Thank you. Please do that. Please and kindly, please do that if you're coming through the stream to watch what's going on today. I appreciate that. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button. We got more stuff to talk about today, but first we got to do what we always do. It's time for a TezDown stretch down.
I'm only gonna do this once. Classic! Lord God, anything attached to me that could be holding me down and keeping me from my ascension.
Let's go.
I pray that you detach that from me, so I can fly. They think ill about me, they still around me. Lord God, please set me free. I ain't going out like Gandhi, bet it won't be nobody next to me. Cause I'm watching the people I'm loving the closest way more than the people I don't. Cause the people that hurt me the most in this life be the people that's locked in my phone. They made a mistake, I gave them some grace. I make a mistake and they won't do the same. People be dishing out what they can't take and they take what they cannot get back to the game. I'm unforgiving cause I'm unforgiving. I harbor resentment, I know what you did me. I am not Jesus, it ain't no repentance when I'm on a mission and moving relentless. Been here before, I know the feeling. Think it's forever, the end to be chilling. Mike Jackson, my life is a thriller. Close to midnight, I turn to the villain. Boundaries over sparing your feelings. Sebastian gone, you can cry me a rib. To be great, you gon' have to be different. When you say it, they gotta know that you meant it. Long as your actions match your diction, people gon' know that you standing on business. A lot of experiences come with this wisdom. I'm only giving you what I've been living. Enlightened now, but still remember the time my mind was a prison. Enlightened now, but still remember the time I felt like a victim. I remember.
To the left.
Enlightened now, but still remember the time I felt like a victim. Classic.
Oh yeah.
Lord God, let me fly, huh? Classic.
Thanks for the music. Thanks for the music. Classic at the Classic Codes. Thank SB Class Music on SoundCloud. If you guys want to pick up some of his music and support that man over there, you definitely can. Thank you for the track again, brother. It's time to move forward in the show today. But you know what?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Me neither. Let's go to this one first. Yes, dating with friends. This is the portion of our show where we talk about culture, we talk about lifestyle, and we talk about what to do and what not to do. And we got a clip from 8 at the Table today to talk about if you should have friends when you're dating someone of the opposite sex. Let's find out what everybody thinks about it. All right. Okay, guys. I need a simple yes or no in my chats today. If you think that you should have friends of the opposite sex, very close friends, let's say a bestie. If you should have friends of the opposite sex while you're in a serious relationship, say it's okay or it's not okay in the chat, and then we're going to get going on it. I'm waiting for some answers before we start today. Richard says yes. Oh, hey, again, I appreciate the super chats that come through here. I appreciate y'all greatly. We got another super chat from Anonymous this time. You know, I appreciate it. So while I wait for these answers, should you have really close friends of the opposite sex while you are dating someone else? Is it okay? What makes it not okay? You guys go ahead and say it. What you want? What you want? You want this one? You want this one, Anonymous?
Yeah. Everything I do fire. Dropped the best 2 albums in 17. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah. Hungry, but I ain't starving though. Had to be before cardio though. Lyrical exercise cardio. I'm getting paid off of audio. Change my rap name a lot of bucks. Watch your head, baby, got a duck. Cuz I pulled up in the Audi truck, say upgrade to a Ferrari truck.
All right. Let's go. So far in the chat, we got Bridget says yes, you should be able to have friends of the opposite sex. Into Deep says no. Roxy says yes, you should be able to have friends of the opposite sex. Into Deep said, I don't have any female besties. So he says he doesn't have any female besties at all. So if you don't have female besties, the question is, why not? If you don't have any female besties, why don't you have female besties? I want to know. Somebody tell me.
Why I don't even want to beef with you about it. I told you a clear boundary, something that I felt was inappropriate. I said no. You crossed it. You don't respect me. You don't respect my boundaries. You need someone else. I need someone who's gonna respect my boundaries. No male friends that you go into dinner with. Absolutely not. You better say hi and bye to that male friend.
Okay, so I actually do have a number of male friends. I'm not dating anyone, right?
I actually do have a number of male friends. A number. Somebody tell me more about this. Somebody please tell me more about this. Tell me about this number of male friends that you may have.
Right, so I've never experienced dating someone and going out with those male friends and it being a problem for my partner. But I think that at this age, because, before I was like a lot younger. So I think that it was okay to be like, I'm going out with my friends, not just guys. It was a group of guys and girls. So like, it was never a problem. But I think that at this age now, I think that my man could be invited anywhere that I.
Do you think that happens often, Sko? Do you think that happens often that the minute that somebody gets into a relationship with somebody else, the bestie starts acting funny? You feel like they got replaced?
Need to be with male friends,
which is respectable too. But I also feel
because
as though
those
That's a
are
valid
like
question.
actual friends of mine. Like I've been friends with them for years, so I would want my man to be comfortable around them because they're not going anywhere. I don't want anybody to tell me I can't have male friends.
But do you think it would be a problem if maybe you and Rome were going to go discuss some content that you guys were thinking of doing, and you guys are like, okay, meet me at this lounge. We'll just sit down and like get some stuff sketched together. Like, you think that you don't feel as though like this could be something like me and my coworker are working. Me and my homie that I have a strictly platonic friendship and relationship with are just sitting down having a discussion. Like, why does every relationship have to make you feel uncomfortable? Like, I don't think that's healthy. I think that's like unhealthy in a relationship to think that I can't sit down with someone that I work with and we can just discuss work stuff or ideas.
The work thing throws me off because you guys were literally together all day.
Yeah, on the clock doing work.
On the clock, 5 days a week or however the fuck many days a week. Why do you guys need out of office hours to discuss anything?
Anything could have happened.
Go on your lunch break. You guys can go to lunch
but
together.
There are really a lot of different jobs out there. So at a meeting, something could have changed the whole outlook on a project or whatever. And maybe you guys are going to sit down and be like, yo, we got to get through this. Or what do you think of this or whatever? I think there's so many reasons why people can sit down and have a conversation. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I tripping?
No, I'm not saying that. Yes, I am saying that you're wrong for that because a work person, they can find time during the workday. You can find time on your lunch break if it's that serious. You at work for how much time?
8 hours.
8 hours. Yeah. When you clock out, it's to come home to me. not to spend more time with work people.
I don't want to be in a relationship where I don't trust my
Ever.
significant other like that, though. That's crazy. Like, for example, let's just say Rico.
And it's not even about trust. It's literally like the respect and the time for me. Like,
but like I went out, like even with Rico, one time I did I did a scene with him, whatever it's called, with the truck thing that he was doing. And like for someone to tell me like I can't go and like do after hour work or something like that.
And you need to be home with me.
Wait, that was work?
No, but we literally don't
yeah, it was
have the
work,
typical
like-
9 to 5 job though.
Yeah, but imagine someone telling you like you can't go. Like I think you and Rome might end up having something going on. Like you would be like, yo, this is literally like my people's. And I feel as though you can have people that you're just close to that don't have any like it never has to go further than that. So it's not right for someone to tell you who you can and can't have interactions with outside of the hours of your life, like that don't involve work. Like
Is he thinking about this, or is he immediately rejecting what she thinks? Let's catch up on these chats for a second. International School says she for the streets. Into Deep says, I got so many problems with female friends because I was the simp handyman fixing stuff for them. Ooh. That's a hard way to go out. It really is. I mean, everybody's been there before for the most part, right? Unless you're Rodney. Rodney ain't really got no skill other than laying pipe. So International School said, no, because I've been in plenty of relationships and she stayed solid and stayed the same. The moment I got remarried, she started moving funny. Into the dude said, current lady would get hella mad too. I believe you. I believe you.
My life, and this could help me in my, like, you never know if we have like a conversation that starts a business or something. Like I feel like people shouldn't
let me just clarify myself, right? I'm never going to tell someone what they can and cannot do. I can just express how I feel about it.
Okay.
The scenario you gave to me about the work person, I'm not okay with that. All right? Because you can find time to do that another time. You don't need to go to dinner with your coworker. You don't. That's just how I feel. In a scenario where you know, us and we need to discuss a sketch or how we can work doing something, like I'm absolutely okay with that if my man is okay with that. If my man does not, does not have or feel any type of way with me hanging out with Rome because he knows exactly who Rome is, like he probably would not have any suspicions or whatever. Like I'm with Rome.
Well, you got two options there. Either he's never going to have a problem with it, or he does have a problem with it, but he'd rather not fight with you. Because there's a lot of ways that you could take that. I'm going to take it as he probably does have a problem with it, but doesn't want to have a problem with you. I'm going to be honest here. I don't know too many guys that want to see their women hang out. By their women, I mean the person that they're with. You guys are not going to jump down my throat about this today. I don't know too many that want them hanging out with another guy, especially a strapping middle-aged gentleman like Rome.
On a weekly basis.
So your boyfriend, not your relation, whoever you're in a relationship, can have a hand in the potential of your future, basically. No marriage commitment, nothing. So you mean to tell me that someone who's not committed to you can dictate what you do that may or may not affect your future?
Mm-hmm. That's literally my next
That
question.
goes back to what we were saying before.
How can you be a wife if you don't do?
Yeah, I don't
if
desire
you're not acting
to-
like a wife.
Why?
There you go,
Because
man.
First of all,
There you go.
Yo, so she asked the right question. How can you give wife consideration to somebody that doesn't act like a wife? Agreed to short blonde. Do whatever. I will just lose respect for you. No consideration. Ladies, I counter this. If you have a man, do you want your man hanging out with other attractive women? Do you trust him? That's the question.
first of all, if I'm showing the man that I'm dating no respect, if he's setting a boundary or he's saying I don't feel comfortable doing this or you doing this or whatever, we can talk about it, right? And we can set a boundary together, or we can make a line of respect, so I know what not to cross, and you know what he can't cross, what I can't cross, and we'll stick to that. And that's me and my relationship. I know what works for us. So yeah, without him being
So I'm gonna lay it out for you. In too deep. I appreciate you adding this nuance to this conversation. Let's say that y'all are going out, and she says, "Baby, I want to stay at home tonight, but you can go out with Sharon and Rhonda and Keisha and Taisha and Tracy and Gabby and Christina. All of them look good. All of them do. And you're telling me you don't trust yourself because y'all are about to go get liquored up, listen to some loud music, wearing skimpy clothing. How many men do y'all think have what percentage? If we were going to throw out a fake percentage, what fake percentage of men do you think would be able to turn it down? Or do you think that at the very least, he would get some on a backside? Even if it's just that. How many of y'all think that that's the case? Roxy says, not being able to have friends of the opposite sex is a form of control. I've been in a relationship where I was not allowed to have friends of the opposite sex, so I respected it. And do you believe that he was controlling you? Introduce said, no, that's a trap, bro. Don't do it. Drinking? No way. What if you're just a designated driver? What if you're the sober one? Does that change things if you're not drinking? If you drove and, you got 3 of them in the car with you or 6 in your Wagoneer, does it change things? You got to drop them all off too. Roxy said that relationship had devastating end and I was left with no friends. Now I don't have a big circle. Rigid vibrations, 10% mostly virgins. All right. So the virgins ain't doing nothing.
committed, like a marriage, you said?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between supporting someone's dream and then sacrificing your own identity?
Same, Bridget.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even close to the same thing.
Supporting someone's dream is like, okay, you want to be a surgeon. I'm going to be here. If we're talking about in a relationship.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's, say, I'm dating a woman who wants to be a surgeon, I'm supporting her, talking to her, giving her emotional support as she goes through school, hearing her out, listening to her. That's supporting your dream right there. Sacrificing who you are is doing something that goes against your morals, your integrity, your character, all of that stuff. Saying like, you do start doing things you wouldn't normally do for this person, or start doing things you wouldn't normally do to support this person's dreams. I'm going to go do a scam to give you money to help you pay for school so that you can be a surgeon. Now I'm going against who I am to support you.
Okay, but what about if I can pick up more knowledge going to an after hours surgery conference and there happens to be other men there, right? Or women, whatever your bag is, and my coworker is going to be there because we do work together and we're in the same field. So what's the difference?
So that's an event related to the work. That's an event related to the work. You're not just done with the event and saying, okay, now we're done with the event. Hey, let's go to happy hour. Just me and you, me and one person. Hey, I'm going to go with this one person
Discuss the event.
to discuss the event. Or I'm going to go buy. So, because why not stop there? Where does the boundary stop? Oh, what if your lady or a guy says, oh, I'm going to go back to this person's house. We're just going to have a drink. You trust them, right? So why can't they go there?
I'm not the problem. I'm not the person with the issue.
But I'm saying
No, but
whoever
even
feels
the
that way,
scenario
why can't they
itself
go
is
to the house?
inappropriate.
Why can't they go to the house and have a drink then, since you trust them so much?
I think it's circumstance. I think it depends on the situation, because we could go back and forth about this and have many different scenarios. But
I think the scenarios are not necessarily the most important thing. I think the principles are the important thing. Into Deep says, all my married friends got more trim than me too. Dang, even the married friends? Diabolical. Diabolical.
I think it's just, it depends on.
That's a hard line.
So
That's hella
I got a
rigid.
question. Here's a real life scenario. So, like, because I know someone this has happened with. You have a man. He has a homegirl that he was in high school with. She's in town. She has no place to stay. They went out for drinks. Can she crash at his house? The female stay at his house overnight. Nope. He's like, yo, this my homegirl. I knew her. We grew up together. Can she stay at his house? Do you trust him?
Am I going to be there too, maybe?
No. You have your own place. You're not at that stage yet.
No.
Can she stay the night at his house? Do you trust him?
I don't know.
No.
I don't have an answer.
Then wait. Wait.
I feel like
did
I
they
have
ever
a
have
very
any
much-
history?
Ooh. Questions?
Did they ever have history?
I think staying at the whole staying at somebody's house thing is a little bit weird. So I don't really know the premise of why you would ask the question that way. Because of like, if you're staying at somebody's house, it's kind of guaranteed that you're about to do something, right?
No.
And that's the thing. I don't be asking the right questions. I would have never thought to ask
He's
that.
saying they're just friends. They
Okay.
never went past that.
And do you trust his word?
That's what she would have to say.
Okay. Was there any issues before this with her trusting his words before this? Is he an honorable man?
Yes, say he is.
So,
Because to me, it's a no regardless.
okay.
If you flip it around and it's my woman and she's like, yeah, my guy friend, man, he was absolutely not. I don't care how honorable I feel you are. It's a hard line that it's a boundary that can't be crossed under any circumstances will a man be in your house.
I don't really deem myself a very suspicious person. But why, as a woman, the first person you think to call is my man? You don't got no girlfriends?
What if your man is the guy with all the answers? Right? What if your man is the guy with all the answers?
No, seriously. They can be friends, but you don't have any girlfriends?
So the answer is
that you
no.
feel-
She came into town and he's her friend. They've been friends since high school, 10-year friendship. How about this? Would it make you comfortable if you had spoken to her and he had brought her up before this? This isn't the first time you're hearing about her.
Or better yet, does he have to now sacrifice his friendship with this person?
Because that's what it sounds like.
It's not
To be in a
it's
relationship.
not a complete sacrifice. Does she have any other
I
options?
mean, but what if she
Answer's
really did
no.
need her friend?
I'm not gonna say. First of all, I'm never telling anybody what they can or cannot do. What I might say is, okay, fine, because I don't think that he would literally be asking me. He wouldn't be asking me my permission. He would be telling me what he's deciding to do. I'd be like, okay, well, make sure she, sleeps in the bedroom and you sleep on the couch and call me.
He was going to do that anyway.
See, the relationship shouldn't even be sacrificed because a true friend should know him better enough to not even ask that in the first place.
I was
Number
actually
two-
going to say that as well.
Number two,
We got some stuff in the chat. Let's go ahead and check out the chat real quick. Roxy said, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Introduce said, I have been there and it doesn't happen. Roxy said, I've always had a small circle of friends because I'm selective and who I choose to be around having male friends. Does that mean that I've seen them on a regular basis, talked or texted them? Some women are messy too. They know they got a chick, then it's a challenge. Deep said, all my married friends got more trim than me too. Roxy said, these male friends are men that I used to work with and had known for 10 plus years. It became to the point where I was not even allowed to have any men's number in my phone. I respected it, and then it became a form of control. So after you gave the respect of not dealing with these men on any level, it became a controlling thing, whereas now you're getting accused of it, I'm guessing. Rigid Vibration said, I would let her do whatever. She'll just get less of me. I'll get colder. I agree to let people do whatever they want to do. So let them do what they want to do, and then you'll see what they really want to do. Introduce says, Tez, Lord, why aren't y'all together then? Well, that's the question that they're asking. He's like, well, why are you not with him then? You want to call him for everything? Roxy said, I definitely never had sleepovers, nor was I drinking with any male friends, which is probably a good idea.
two, the friend knowing that once she hears the answer from the girlfriend, should say, okay, I respect it. I don't want to get in between your relationship.
Okay, but
That I
that's-
agree. I
yeah,
do
I
that
think that's
with my
cool.
guy friends all the time. Like, I don't cross those kind of boundaries. Yo, you got a girl. I'm never like overstepping any boundary. Why would I call you? The man I know has a girl to sleep over your house. Why would I do that?
And you have a girlfriend?
Why would I do that?
I think a lot of times
Now I'm looking at your friend side eye.
I mean, because
Who is
sometimes
she?
things happen. Like sometimes things happen.
Let me
guys.
talk to her.
Sometimes you need your friends. Like I don't know. I can find a scenario in anything. Like dang, everything don't always got to be like
Suspicious.
like you can't trust me.
Everyone, everything doesn't have to be suspicious. But you see, the minute you drop that guard and say, "Oh yeah, go ahead,"
I mean, I get that too. You can't be too nice.
Hey, even she's saying it right now. The minute that you drop the guard is when something happens. That's crazy that people think that way. I mean, I don't think that way. I mean, is it true, guys? Is it true that the minute you drop your guard, something bad happens? I don't think so. I think that people know who they're dealing with, and they create certain rules for the people that they're dealing with because of who they're dealing with. Me, on the other hand, I don't put nothing past anybody, but I also don't question everybody about everything either because humans will human, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, but you just never know. I am very nice, and I'm very like.
See, you're gonna open the gate for more stuff. See, you allow that to happen, then you be like, she sure texts a lot now, and seems like she texts a little bit more since she spent the night. Then you're gonna be paying attention. It's gonna drive you crazy every little thing after that.
Look at him in his face.
I don't know about the sleepovers. The sleepovers seem to be a little bit extreme, if you ask me. Are y'all having sleepovers with y'all besties? Y'all males and ladies having sleepovers with y'all best friends? If y'all are, more power to you. But if you're in a committed relationship, having a bunch of sleepovers all the time is probably not the big thing you want to do. Not in my opinion, anyway. Well, we do have time for the last segment of the day. And I got a feeling this is going to get crazy, right? So, this is the question of the day. You guys ready for the question of the day? Question of the day today is, let me actually write it out because I think it's on here. Yeah, let me get this. Question of the day. The question of the day today is, how soon is too soon? How soon is too soon? How soon is too soon to begin an intimate physical relationship with somebody? How soon is too soon? We're going to hear from someone, as always, from this channel. It's probably going to be with nuts. What do y'all think before we even get going? Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, how soon is too soon to start intimate relations? Into deep, do they want or will if they given the chance? Into deep said, I don't have men sleeping over either. Into deep said, most guys that are friends to hot women want to sleep with them. Roxy said, I was being accused of anything and everything. My phone always had to remain in the room with him. I was super supervised and micromanaged. She said, I definitely never had sleepovers, nor was I friends with any male, drinking with any male friends. Most of these men I rarely spoke to, so it was just about a number in my phone. That was my mentality about it. Interdeep said, do what they want or will if given the chance. Yeah, Murphy's Law. When I had a female bestie, me and her have slept in the same bed and nothing has happened, said International Skull. Bridget said, depends on if they cracked or not. And Richard said, the same hour. The same hour is when it's too soon, okay? So the same hour is too soon. So you got to do something else besides jump into bed right away. Okay, I understand that. I get it. You got to do something different than jumping into bed right away. Let's hear what she has to say about how soon is too soon.
If we're linking on the first date, you can't come pick me up and I got heels on and I got to drive in heels. That's a red flag for me. I'm not even coming to that date. I'm telling you that something came up. I'm not coming.
How many dates will it take for you to give up the chicks?
Oh, it depends. It depends.
Have you done on the first date?
Have I done on the first night? Yes. I have done it on the first night before. And that was like my longest situationship. And still to this day, I'm still...
You're still clapping them chicks?
Yeah, he's definitely still actively clapping them cheeks.
Dang. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. She gave in immediately and not together. Oh, we got to run that back. This is short, so we got to run that back. Let's go.
Oh, it depends. It depends.
Have you done on the first date?
Have I done it on the first night? Yes. I have done it on the first night before. And that was like my longest situationship. And still to this day, I'm still.
You're still clapping them chicks?
Yeah, he's definitely still actively clapping them cheeks. Certain shit shouldn't even count as a body count. You know?
What do you mean?
Like a minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes, that shit shouldn't count as a body count. That shit should count.
Hey, you heard that? Hey, look, y'all let me know. Does it count? How long does it take to count? Is 2 minutes? Is 2 minutes too short of a time to count? That don't count. That doesn't go against your roster numbers, your career stats. Guys and girls, guys, if you in there for 2 minutes, does it count? This is crazy.
As okay, you had an accident. You had after getting your coochie ate, you get something that's real. I'm also not into plastic, like, so it's just like if you're gonna be eating my coochie, honey, what else is there? Like that. Me personally, I think a man gives the best head. This is just me from experience. Women give good head. They're more soft. They know what points to hit, and they know where to go for. But men, I'm not really big on relationships because it's like giving me.
Now we know you're not big on relationships. Look at what you're talking about. Look, It's Too Deep said it all counts. Every touch counts. I agree. This is crazy. I was not expecting this, y'all. But again, this channel always gives us something crazy coming out of somebody's mouth.
It's like giving an opportunity to a man to make you look dumb. Personally, I'm way too big of a freak to be trying to have a fucking friends with benefits. I'm fine with a situationship. Like, we deal with each other. We could even possibly just be like on some shit where it's just like, fuck everybody else. Let's just deal with each other. That's a situationship. I am into women.
So you do both?
Yep. I love women.
So
I actually love women more than men. Like, I have more experience with women than men. And also, I'm also cool with us even loving the same man. Like, and if I was to just be with a man, I would always want a woman. I love sister wives. Like, if I can find somebody who's okay with me and my man, just like, even impregnating them, and I don't even have to get pregnant, that would be a blessing. I want a big family. I'm not even gonna hold you. I want like 25 kids, and I'm not having all of
25.
I'm just by myself. Of course, I gotta be cool with other women so they can give me your 5 or give me your 5, and we just all just be a big family. That's all I want. I'm single because these men don't know what they want. And, a man can know what he wants, deal with it, and then most men you deal with and you're into.
Well, I thought she just told us that she wasn't single. Okay. Look, I am not clicking this long form video at the bottom, but this is called the Quickie House of Stories. Okay? I'm going to move away from the Quickie House of Stories and come here and listen to my chat and talk to my chat. Chat, let's communicate. I am going to give y'all a few minutes. I'm going to drop this link. And if y'all want to talk about any of these two things that we just talked about, y'all can click the link and come up. You do not have to be on camera to join the stream. In Too Deep said it all counts. Roxy said, that is a situationship, not a legitimate active relationship. Isn't there a difference? To some people, there isn't a difference. To some people, there is. I think relationship parameters are defined by each and every relationship that people are in. Whether it be marriage, whether it be, any of those things, a relationship is defined by the two people that are in it and not really anybody else. Not the government, not their friends, not their family, not their kids. It's defined by the two people. And in the degree of seriousness, that the relationship is solely based on the two people and their communication. In Too Deep said fingers, tongues, toys, and manhood too. All of it counts. Soft Rain said, no, none of it count. None of it. See, she disagreeing with you, In Too Deep. She said, none of that count. A girl can give someone the lop lop and don't count that. Okay. All right, let's see if we get anybody in here. I know Kira took the bet yesterday. Let's get anybody else takes it today. The way I see things is very simple. It's up to two people to decide what works for them. But just understand that if it seemed too easy, it probably was. That's just how most things in life work. Now, there are some rare circumstances that many of us have encountered in our life where we got involved with somebody and it was bliss off the bat. The first date, the first night, the first hangout, it was great. A lot of people have gotten into those relationships, and a lot of them get married afterwards because there's nothing better than being with somebody who knows what they want, especially if what they want is you. So, Roxy said, pass. She don't want to be psychoanalyzed again. It's okay, Roxy. I won't do that to you. That is not my job. Nope. I will say, if you're religious or claim to be religious, or if you perpetrate a religious affiliation at all times, you probably should be a little bit more scrupulous on what you do with who, when you do it, and with whom. But that's just because you are religious and you are claiming this. But if you're not religious and you don't claim any of those things and you don't really care what other people think, do what feels natural. I'm a believer that most people are going to do what feels natural anyway, because I think that humans will human. So, I mean, if I got no takers on this, I'm going to run through the stats. Not those stats. Oh, I got Into Deep in the building. What's up, Into Deep? How you doing? Welcome to the show, Into Deep. First time on the TezDown. This is your first time just being on the TezDown. I think you joined us on the Human Experience once, but nice to see you. Yeah, give a loud round of applause for Into Deep. I didn't even give you no music to come in.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I forgot to put the Bluetooth setting on, so you might get some feedback. But I'm just gonna say this. I'm a serial monogamous type of person. So if I get in a relationship, I'm not jumping around from lily pad to lily pad just because of my age and where I came from and the time frame. We didn't have all this free love, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So there was guys that would cheat, right? But we wouldn't have multiple relationships per se. So to be honest with you, me personally, I don't go out of my way to meet women, right? I only really get attracted to women that are attracted to me from the jump. So I don't really find myself out there. And 9 times out of 10, if I do get into a relationship, she's coming at me. I'm never going at them. It's always inward. So I don't understand how these guys go up to women, and I've never been rejected because I don't go up to them. So even at the club or the bar or whatever, I'm the dude that's sitting in the corner with his own table, with his own bottle, and I got 2 shot glasses. And if a woman comes up, she'll start talking. Next thing you know, we're having a conversation, get a phone call, on the phone, holler at him, spit my game, and go about my business. So the new generation and how you guys do things is totally different. So I went out to the club one time and I didn't like it. So I haven't been since. So more power to you young fellas, young whippersnappers. I hope you get what we're looking for.
So I'm going to ask you a question since I got you in here. I got you for 3 minutes.
All right, let's go.
You ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
So here's
I'm with it. Let's go.
Here's a question, right? So you made a statement earlier that said your married friends got more trim than you did when y'all went out.
Yes, this is true.
Why do you think that is?
When I was in the military, right, a lot of the guys would get married out of boot camp, or in this case, AIT, right?
Yep.
And so they would be, we would be out for like 6-7 months at a time. And then in that time, they would be the biggest horn dogs because there's a whole bunch of women around, right? And you know, they keep their wedding ring on, and I'd be the single one, and I was the fall guy. It's what's his name's, you know, they'll say, hey, you know who I went by K back then. You know, yeah. K, it's K. K would he had this chick, and that's why I had the number in my phone. And then, you know, they call me and be like, why you got my husband doing XYZ? I'm like, my bad.
My bad. My bad.
And or they would come into my apartment, and next thing you know, hey man, I'm bringing a girl over. So where am I gonna go? Oh, I was gonna see if you can give me a couple hours. I was like, whatever, right? I didn't ask no questions. So I'm just telling you, in my experience, watching married men, more married men get more trim because they have actually said yes or actually done something to receive a woman. And so a lot of women are looking at a guy like me who's like very particular, and I'll be like, oh no, I ain't trying to get married. Let's get to know each other first. Let me see you make your first mistake. You know, I play chess, not checkers. And so that is what I found most of my married friends when I was younger. Now that I'm older, you don't see it as much just because, you know, they've been through 3 divorces and it costs them serious money for cheating. So they don't do it anymore as much. So I think I think it's the testosterone personally. And back then it was real food. And we're not eating this whatever chemicals to where it's lowering your, you know, your libido. And I'm finding that I think that's really what it's boiling down to. And I don't want to go any further, but I just think when I was younger in the military, getting married, the reason why I didn't get married because I watched a whole bunch of my friends get divorced like within 2 years. I think it was the average. 2 years, and then they got remarried again because you get to live off post and all this other stuff. So long story short, to make it easier, married guys get more action because they are compatible for marriage, and you will see them take a situation where they get some cheeks, and then that girl wants to compete against the other one. It was.
So you're telling me that the women knew that these guys were married?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they weren't lying to them.
No,
they weren't manipulating them.
Well, you got to remember the benefits, military benefits. If the guy dies, you get $400,000. You got the medical. You have the credit, because most military guys, once you hit about E5, E4, you don't have any bills, especially if you're living in the barracks.
Yeah, you're gonna.
And then if you get off post and you get married, you get all this other benefits. You get BAQ, you get all kinds of.
You get VA, you get the GI.
VA, you get housing assistance, you get food stamps still.
You get VA
it's
and
like
GI.
Yeah, you get all kinds of
assistance. You get SNAP.
Yep.
And I believe there's another voucher too, isn't there?
There's like, I don't know, I never got
assistance one for schooling.
That's the GI Bill, but that's after you're out.
Okay.
But if you were in a job field, especially if your Army wasn't like that, but the Air Force and the Navy, they had civilian sector jobs where you had to get the training.
There's a lot of civilian sector jobs in the Air Force.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna say too much about it, just because, you know, never mind all of that. But I'm not gonna say too much about all that. There's a lot of civilian sector jobs.
Yes.
In the
contractors. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of companies that hire, you know, ex-military. You know, you're able to get certifications.
I would have made more money out of the military than I was in it for the same job that I was doing.
Yeah, there's lots.
We're talking about considerable amount of money, and they called me when I don't want to talk about it. We won't go there. Yep. I'll just stay out of that one.
We're not doing.
I get kicked off the internet when I start talking.
Yeah, we're not doing that today.
Yeah, we won't.
Nope, it's too many of us.
But the interesting part is this is what was crazy. Going to the NCO club while the guys were away, right?
Yeah.
The women would be in the bars and the clubs getting their cheeks clapped too. It was crazy. I was like, wait, hold on. You got the married women going out getting their cheeks clapped, getting revenge, and guess who they getting? The homeboys. I'd be like, oh, hell no. And I'd be the prime target too. They'd be coming after me. I'd be like, oh, no, not me. I'm too smart for this. You ain't catching me. Because those type of dudes will crash out. And I already know what they do out there in the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
The truth. It would happen. The best I'll give you this for instance. There's a best friend combination where the dude was best friends with the guy. The guy was always going out of town or going on mission. So the other guy was always hurt for some reason. Going to sick call, going to this. And he was like, look after my wife. Well, he was looking after her all right. Come to find out, something happened where he came up missing and didn't show up. Come to find out, the husband found out. and
so you missed,
canceled him.
You probably missed the story that I did a few months ago about the military wife where everybody was cheating on everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she lost her best friend, her husband, her cousin, and everybody. It was all doing it.
Right.
So this is not anything that isn't common.
It's not uncommon. It happens all the time, but the military doesn't want to talk about it.
Let's look at this one.
That's why they got a command when you're running called Jody Got Your Girl.
Yep.
I am moving forward. She will get all of the paperwork next week. Looking back on the situation now with full clarity, I realized that I was manipulated, gaslighted, and cheated on for years as I worked harder and harder to make our marriage better, up to and including opening our relationship. My only hope now is that I can find trust in people again and move past this.
Wait, so he got cheated on and then decided to open his relationship instead of leaving it?
Because of the benefits.
One commenter says, you are not overreacting. Love isn't the only thing that keeps the relationship alive. Trust is just as important, and she broke it, and now you can never see her as someone who you love, but someone who betrayed you. Divorce her and move on. It won't be easy, but it never is, I guess. And OP responds, thanks for the assurance. I told her I also struggled when we were long distance or when I was deployed, and I had several occasions where I could have broken trust, but I never did, ever. She is at fault. She betrayed me, and it is a one-way street. She definitely made me second-guess myself today with her crafty explanations and reasoning. Thank you. I refuse to take blame for any of this crap. I have worked way too hard and been 100% honest, faithful, and good to her. None of this is my fault, no matter my flaws.
I mean, I'm going to disagree. I think some of that is his fault.
It 100% his fault. And the reason why I will say it's 100% his fault is because once the adultery starts in the military, he can get in trouble for her adultery.
Yes, he can.
Yeah. So if he allows it, the commander is going to come down on him no differently than if he did it. So it's pointless to even do it.
A relationship so that she can see.
You'll be surprised how many swingers there are, though.
Roxy said some women will actively seek out married men so they can have physical benefits without much else, while maybe possibly searching for their future husband. What?
Yep.
What?
Because he's already said yes. Hey, I used to take this ring and put it on the ring finger to go to the club, and I kid you not, I would get more action than I could shake a stick at, bro.
What?
You say you wasn't even married?
Put a ring on your left finger.
You weren't married and this was happening.
Oh, all day long.
You was running game.
I used to work at a club. I used to be a club promoter for 15 years, and I saw so many women that were married. They would take their rings off. You can see their little tan line. All men weren't even paying attention to that, and back alley stuff or behind.
I was running game on you. Wanted to get the money.
Reason why I never got married, because I saw that. So I'm like, if you've ever worked in a club or if you ever did anything that had to do with like partying, don't get me started on concerts. Don't get me started on concerts. Like the backstage stuff. Girls don't go back there unless they're doing something.
You heard what she said.
I'm telling you, if your girl goes to concerts, oh yeah, we went backstage. You lost her. You might as well just go ahead and let it go.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's going to be that way, for sure.
You better learn how to lie like me. I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now.
That's why women's and their body counts is so sacred to them. They won't tell you. The good ones will keep it. Hey, it's the quiet ones that are the worst.
Oh yeah. That's horrible.
I'm just saying. Like I said, once you get past 45, in my experience, the ones that act like they didn't do anything when they were younger, I stay away from them. I'd rather be with a woman that is least honest. Hey, I got busy. I'm like, all right, I guess.
What up, Joe Jet? Shout out Joe Jet to the
Classic.
building. Joe Jet
up,
said
Classic?
dudes be at war for 9 months, but wife be 4 months pregnant. Bridget told Roxy, I didn't think about that. Ramon, what's up, Ramon? I've never had more O's than when I just had my baby and I was with my baby mama.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, you can tell he's been in the military. He knows. He knows.
Ramon said women only want men what the other women want. Sko said, I'm telling you, I get approached a lot. That's husband international Sko, y'all. Roxy said, yep, because they were already married and some women were actively looking for a similar future husband compared to the married men that was clapping cheeks. Ramon said, it gets wicked, y'all. It gets wicked.
It is a crazy sight.
And then you got the dude that be on Maury crying and telling his story. And I just be like, man,
this is sick shit.
I can't even do it.
Wait till you get the interracial one and she come up with a dark baby. That shit is hilarious.
Oh man.
That shit's hilarious. Man, you see some fighting going down in the parking lot. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've seen it all, man. I enjoyed going. I love watching them come to the barracks. The wife coming to the barracks and the husband's running around with no clothes on pretty much. And he over there like, it wasn't me. I had a couple drinks.
Shit, Negro. That's all you had to say.
Every Friday, you could not miss something.
Ramon
knows what I'm talking about. He knows. Fridays and Saturday nights were a crack up. I'm telling you, you would die laughing.
About no cantina missions, nothing at all.
Hey man, if there was some man, that would be a really good segment actually.
I would call it the cantina mission. All right.
Yeah, that would be a good
write that down.
Because then you could talk about some serious stuff, dude. I'm telling you, especially the older guys that came in before, I'd say about before 2000, because that's when it was the real military still. Because like they started cutting out where you couldn't have like female calendars up, you couldn't have nothing with a bathing suit. It was all like formative. You couldn't have nothing. You basically, I got out because of that reason. Well, I got out because of fighting, but another part of it is they try to take away a lot of the stuff that we used to get away with. So, but anyway, every Friday, Saturday, there was someone either getting into a fight, a lover's quarrel, or my favorite one is when the dude breaks up with the chick and then she's in the barracks getting ran. Excuse me. She excuse me. She was partying as the favor. Yeah, and then he had to hear it.
She was the pinata.
It was a riot. Because he would come out mad
everyone
drunk.
Hits the pinata.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's taking turns. Yeah. Blindfold.
Yeah. Oh man.
Tell me about it. No, I mean really. Tell me more about it.
It was a hoot. I can tell you that. Now, and then we're not even talking about overseas. Now, he's talking about Germany. You learn a valuable lesson. Never let them come back to the barracks. Because she knows everybody. And and everybody's laughing at you. They're like, you got her. Hey, she folds the best laundry.
Oh man, not the laundry.
Yeah. Because German women over there, they take care of their men. That's one thing they do after all the said and done. You're getting breakfast. You're getting your clothes clean. You're getting laundry done. Your socks. Everything's filled up. She cleaned your whole room. She ain't trying to leave. Matter of fact,
I so wish I had time to go and get that clip. What episode was this from? Rain, do you remember what episode that was from that I did? Let me see if I can find that episode. That episode was actually real good. It was a real good episode. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
If not, I'm telling you, you should have a segment or something. That would be interesting because, especially with the Navy, oh my God, the Navy would be a crack.
Because the Navy, find it.
Yeah, the Navy guys, man, Navy and Air Force have the best looking women out of all the branches, in my opinion.
Oh man,
because we used to go.
About it. No, I mean really. Tell me more about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember which episode it was on. I done so many episodes. Somebody got to tell me. Somebody got to tell me.
International Skull said he should have went into the military. Hey, if you was a tall dude, you would have your pick.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode it was on. I have no idea. I have so many episodes here. It's on one of these episodes, y'all. But it wasn't on the Veterans Day special. I made sure not to include that on the Veterans Day special. Or was it? Let me check. Might have been on the Veterans Day special.
Oh yeah, Barracks Bunnies. She knows what I'm talking about. Ray know what I'm talking about.
Oh shoot! It was on the Veterans Day special. Oh my God! I'll play an excerpt.
Yeah. International Skull. You would have cleaned up.
Home every single day. Every single day you worry about them coming home, and you worry about
what's going on. I was doing.
There's been lots of incidences at bases in the United States where people never got to come back.
Oh, Skull was super tall.
So hit that like button.
Oh yeah, he would have got it.
I'd like y'all to do that too. That's what's up.
No, as soon as you get into the airport,
Yeah,
he would have got picked up right from the USO.
Why are people on there talking about where can we meet military guys? Like, where is the best place to meet military guys? Girl, you wanna volunteer for PTSD? You wanna volunteer for this life? This life is not like I think people have this
Veterans Day special.
Military dude because they have money.
Well, I got a question. Like, why are you in this relationship then? Like, you knew this is what it was. Why are you in this relationship?
Because the benefits. She knows why.
Somebody tell me, why do y'all think she's in the relationship but she don't like none of this?
The benefits.
Yep.
Hey, check this out. Another thing is that she doesn't even have to be with the dude as much.
No, she don't. She about to tell you that right now.
One, you know what I'm saying? But they gotta put in years. And I'm pretty sure if you just find one on the fucking street who just got in, he ain't gonna have all that money. You gotta put in that work, okay? Some of us spouses, we put in that work, okay? Coming here just no. Anyways, yeah. Why are some people willingly just out there talking about working with, like, for what? Girl, there's no way. There's no way. I do not recommend. Go off and find yourself a fucking doctor. This military life comes with PTSD, comes with anxiety, comes with stress, comes with the military just ripping you out from under the foot, like doing God knows what, relocating. Y'all really don't understand this military life. Like, y'all need to stop. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie. When I met my man on Tinder, I knew he was military, and I was like, ooh, gimme. So I get it. But now being in, yo, I love my man, but I wish, in some.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, she will cheat. She probably does.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't in his.
She looked like she got the work
a lot. Okay, I need therapy. Yeah, he's been in what, 15?
Yeah, the story gets crazy.
15. No, 14. Okay, 14 years. We got about 6 more years to go. Okay, so yeah, y'all ain't about this life. So stop it. Go find yourself a. I don't even know what the.
She tripping. Let's find us another one. How about this?
Confessions from military spouses. Husband came home early from deployment to surprise his family. He was welcomed home with another man living in his house with his wife and children. He got all the evidence he needed and started the divorce process. Before the divorce was finalized, they reconciled. So they're now back together, one big happy family. Well, a couple years.
That was his first mistake.
Later, the guy shows up at their door, so the husband shoots him on sight. This went to trial, but he was acquitted because of castle doctrine. Lady had been advertising and boasting of her chocolate bar business. Keep in mind, she has no papers or licenses for this. Well, after some time, she posts about having a mice infestation in her kitchen, in her oven, in her dishwasher, just all over this kitchen. All while still actively advertising her business and talking about how she's going to be at a vendor event. Multiple people reported her, and now she's upset because she's been reported to base and the health department. The kicker is, instead of, thinking it could be because of the mice and her advertising all about this, she believes it's another spouse with another similar type of business trying to take her down. A wife decided to share the homecoming dates of her husband. She decided to share them in this group chat since it technically wasn't a public Facebook group. Someone did report her and they got in trouble, but the deployment got pushed back, so not everyone's mad at her. Rightfully so. Confessions for military spouses.
Man, that's crazy. I think we done with that one, y'all. We got the question.
Yeah, y'all go back and watch the Veterans Day special if you want to hear more tea about this. But I think we just created a new segment. It's called Cantina Confessions with In Too Deep.
Hey, well, if you want, I could give you stories. I got a
We
few.
have Cantina Confessions with In Too Deep. That is the new segment that we will be doing periodically on this show.
All
In
right.
Too Deep. Anytime you want to do Cantina Confessions, you let us know. That's In Too Deep can turn that into a whole show, a whole series,
Hey, I got stories on stories. So yeah,
you feel
we can
free
have that.
to clip anything you want. You feel free to clip anything you want and use it.
All right, I'll do
You
so.
do as you
But
please.
hey, I gotta tell you something. You're doing your thing, and I said this to Classic, and I'll say this to all you guys. You guys are doing wonderful. You guys bring life into people, and I appreciate the opportunity to even be in the community with you. So we got a great family here. We got people that really generally like each other. To be honest, I some groups, they don't like each other. They pretend. And I think I feel the love between y'all. Even if you guys get into it like a little beef or whatever, I don't even think that would happen. But even if you did, I think you guys would, mesh it out and work through it and never make it a beyond, approach. So keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are doing excellent. And I appreciate all the opportunity to even work with you guys.
Hey, I thank you for saying that, man. It is sometimes the YouTube streets are rough. There are some days where you wake up and you don't know what to talk about, or if anybody's even going to be watching you. But then you remember, he has a question for you. So I'll let you answer that first.
Who's that?
Ramon.
Oh yeah, I was Army. Yeah.
So it gets hard some days because you don't really know, what the algorithm. I don't know how to work the algorithm. I have no idea. I do know that as long as I continue posting and it looks like it's good, people will show up at some point. I think most of my videos do better on the back end than they do in the front. And
they will. But you just need a keyword strategy, and I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about your. I didn't want to overload you because you're doing you're viral right now, and I don't want you to mess with it and just ride the wave until it slows down. But you just need a keyword strategy. You should take a look at what Classic is doing now, because Classic is doing a strategy that's really good, which he's doing like a he has his live channel, right? And then he has his shorts or clips in he calls them clips. Then he has his rewind, right? And then he has a sports channel, and he's diversifying those and trying to build those up at the same time because he already has the monetized on one. So I'm not saying for you to do that. I'm just saying it's
already in
keyword
the
strategy
works.
he's doing too.
Which is what this thing is right here. This is the where is that? Where did I put it at? I know I got it in here somewhere. I got so much stuff for everybody. I don't just be taking care of myself, y'all. I try to take care of everybody at the same damn time.
Right.
Where is it at? Where is it? I know I got it in here. Where's all of my saves at? It's my banner. My banner that I have posted on here. I'll just show this one. My banner at the bottom of that has all of the channels on it that you can find me on. That is the Raw Society Coalition channel, the TezDown, the Ben podcast, and the DDOG podcast. The DDOG podcast is my my sports channel with my homies.
Got you.
I also do, as you know, I do sports on this channel too. But It's got all that in there, as well as all of the different lists. If you guys didn't know, on my page, you can find lists. I'll go straight to it and share it with everybody so they can see it before I get up out of here today.
Okay.
You can find lists of all of the different playlists that I have on my channel. So let's navigate it. We have videos, shorts, live, and playlists, which is extremely important. This was private, but all the human experience ones you can find there. And the TezDown rerun down is what I called it. You jump right into it on the rerun down, whereas we replay videos and we rewatch the videos that we've done. I'll be adding more videos to the rerun down very soon, as well as some workouts that I've got here for you guys, and a music list that, as well as some of the old lives that I did way back in the day, when I was just doing car stuff and video game stuff. So we have them up here. There is a full channel list and a backlog for you guys to go into. And some of these are some excellent. If you guys liked True Crime Monday on Monday, I have the entire catalog of True Crime Monday on here, and I will catalog it into a playlist unless somebody wants to make the playlist and share it with me. Then I can co-sign the playlist. But we even got some stuff.
I was gonna ask that too as well, because you can refurbish your content from previous, and there's a strategy on that, a repurpose strategy, if you want, if you will. But I'm working on classics first because I'm testing some stuff out. But you're Soft Rain, we have a understanding, I believe, with a new segment she's looking at too as well. But my next really big goal is to get Uncle Plug his monetization as well, because he already has the count. I'm just trying to get him the watch hours. He needs his 4K, and he's fairly close. So if you guys could, go to Uncle Plug's and at least watch one of his lives or something like that, and give him some hours so you can get that monetization going. Because a lot of his stuff is dropping off because of how YouTube works and the algorithm works.
Most definitely. Make sure you guys check in with the rest of the Raw Society Coalition as well as the Ben Podcast members. Thank you very much for coming to hang out today in Too Deep. I appreciate that.
And my pleasure. You made it easy. You guys, like I said, this is not even work. I don't even think you guys are working. I think you guys are relating. It's a pleasure.
I have fun on my streams on purpose. So
yes.
And now we have to go not have fun. So I thank you again for coming up. That's in Too Deep,
man.
y'all.
It's been a pleasure. I don't know how to back out of here, so you got to kick me off.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Stay right there.
Cool.
That's in Too Deep. I am the Tez. I've been Tez. I'm 2-4. This is the TezDown. We had a good time today. If you caught the end of this, make sure you catch the rest of it. It was kind of interesting. These are conversations that are going to continue. Also, if you guys can go to my socials, make sure you do. We have new video locations that I put in the chat already. I'm sure In Too Deep and somebody else will probably relink those at a later time here, or even right now. Guys, you need to get on the Discord, and we have to be more active in the Discord together as a community. I would love to be able to talk to y'all a whole lot easier than just every other 24 hours. So thank you for that again. And I will see you guys in another 24. Give me some ideas of what you guys want me to talk about. Yeah, Tez is on Discord, y'all. I'll catch y'all in 24.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Finally, Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.